It is the second week of February, 14 below zero outside. Your neighbor just pulled a head of lettuce out of a plastic bag, trucked in from California, limp, and it cost him $9. You walk 12 feet from your own kitchen, through a wall of glass, and you pick one, free, crisp, still warm from the sun. That is not a fantasy. That is a greenhouse barndominium. And here's the wild part. The same steel frame that makes a barndominium affordable to build is the exact thing that lets you hang an entire glass growing environment off it for a fraction of what a custom conservatory would cost. Here are 5 greenhouse barndominium designs, and each one was engineered for a specific fight: the Gulf Coast heat, the northern freeze, the high desert swing, not generic inspiration, climate-specific systems. And before we go any further, if you're planning a build and you want the actual numbers, not render fantasy, right now is the moment to subscribe. I put the full cost breakdowns in every video. Let's get into it. Design number 1, the house within a greenhouse. Design 1 is the most literal version of the idea. A steel frame barndominium wrapped completely in a second glass envelope. The house sits inside the greenhouse, like a building inside a terrarium. What does that buy you? A buffer zone between your living space and the outside air. There's a pocket of trapped, solar-heated atmosphere that never drops below freezing. In a Minnesota January, that pocket can run 40 to 50 degrees warmer than the outside. Your actual house never touches real winter. The envelope does the suffering, so the house doesn't have to. And the growing capacity is not a token. On a build like this, the growing zone can be 3,000 square feet, which is not a window box of herbs. That is a serious year-round food supply for a family, and it's heated almost entirely by the sun that is already hitting your house. Imagine walking out of your living room and picking a fresh lemon for your tea in the middle of winter. That is the daily reality of this design. And once you live with it, a conventional house starts to feel like it's missing a room. But here's the honest challenge. That second glass skin is not cheap. Figure an extra 30 to 60% on the exterior compared to a standard barndominium. You are, in effect, building 2 envelopes instead of 1. And this design performs best in cold, sunny climates. Drop it into a Florida summer, and you have built yourself a glass oven. The same trapped heat that saved you in January cooks you in July. This is a northern design. Full stop. If you live in a warm climate, skip it entirely and keep listening, because the next one was built for you. Design number 2, the monitor greenhouse Barndo. Design 2 solves the cooling problem the first one has, and it does it with nothing but geometry. The monitor roof, that raised ridge running down the center of the Barndo, wrapped in glass. Here's the thing most people miss. That ridge is not just for light. It is a thermal engine. Hot air rises, collects at the peak, and vents out the top. And as it leaves, it pulls fresh air in through low vents on the walls. That is a stack effect, doing in a building exactly what a chimney does in a fireplace. It is not a fan. It is not a machine you buy and maintain. It is the shape of the building doing the work, every single day, for free. That is why a monitor greenhouse can hold growing temperatures in March without a single fan running, and then dump excess heat in July with nothing but open vents. The architecture is the HVAC. In zones 5 through 7, where you want maximum light in winter and maximum heat dumping in summer, this is a design that threads that needle. It is genuinely different from a trend. It is a system, and it is one of the oldest roof forms in agricultural history, which tells you it works because farmers have been using it for centuries. The honest challenge: the monitor ridge costs more to frame than a flat roof, and it adds surface area that needs sealing against leaks. That extra peak is a seam that water wants to find. You need a builder who actually understands how to flash and seal a ridge, not one who wings it. Get that detail wrong, and you've traded your cooling system for a water feature in the ceiling. But get it right, and you have a growing environment that basically runs itself. Design number 3, the affordable Cape Cod hybrid. Now, I know some of you are watching that glass shell and thinking, these look expensive. Fair. So here is the budget version. The Cape Cod hybrid. 900 square feet of living space. 900 square feet of greenhouse. Same total footprint as a standard 2,000 square foot house, but split clean in half. living on one side, growing on the other. And because the greenhouse wall is shared with the house, the south-facing glass does double duty. It grows food during the day, and the warm air it captures bleeds into the living space at night. Passive heat. No furnace doing the heavy lifting. This is a design where the numbers get genuinely interesting. At $110 to $160 a square foot, it lands at the bottom of the cost curve. And yet it delivers the two things a self-sufficient home actually needs: a warm place to live and a place to grow food. That's it. Those two rooms are the whole strategy. Everything else is decoration. Here's the cruel irony of this one. The builders who skip the greenhouse to save you $15,000 up front are the same ones whose clients pay $300 a month in heating costs for the next 20 years. The glass wing is not an add-on that can be cut to save money. It is the cheapest square footage in the entire build because it is the square footage that pays you back. It produces food, it produces heat, and it does both every single day of the year. The trade-off: you're living in a tighter home. If you need 4 bedrooms and a media room and a home gym, this is not your plan. But if you want low cost and a year-round food supply, it is very hard to beat. And it's the one I'd point a first-time builder toward, because it is forgiving. The systems are simple, the envelope is manageable, and the payoff is immediate. Design number 4, the Courtyard Greenhouse Barndo. Design 4 takes the greenhouse and puts it at the physical center of your life. A courtyard barndominium. Living wings on 3 sides, and in the middle, a glass roof growing atrium you walk through to get from your bedroom to your kitchen. This is not a greenhouse you visit. It is a greenhouse you live inside. Every single room looks into it. And because the courtyard is sheltered on 3 sides, it creates its own microclimate, warmer than the open yard, protected from the wind that would strip heat off a freestanding greenhouse in a single night. Here's the wild part. In a high wind climate, the plains, the mountain foothills, that sheltered courtyard is also the thing that keeps your greenhouse standing. A freestanding glass structure catches the wind like a sail, and sooner or later the wind wins. A courtyard greenhouse hides behind its own walls. Same glass, half the structural risk. The building is protecting the very thing that is feeding it. That is a beautiful kind of symmetry, and it is also just sound engineering. Imagine stepping out of your bedroom into a courtyard that smells like basil and wet soil, while snow sits on the roofline above you. That is the emotional core of this design, and it's why people who build courtyard homes rarely go back to a standard floor plan. The growing space stops being a utility and becomes the soul of the house. The honest challenge: this is the most expensive layout on the list. More exterior wall, more foundation, more glass, more roof to seal. You're paying a premium to make the greenhouse the centerpiece rather than a wing. But for a family that wants a growing space to be the heart of the home, not a shed out back, nothing else on this list does what the courtyard does. Design number 5, the Secret Atrium. This last one is my favorite, and it's the one nobody sees coming. From the street, it looks like a completely ordinary barndominium. Standard metal siding. A clean, modest roofline. Nothing that would make a neighbor slow down. And then you walk the front door, and there's a hidden glass atrium at the center of the house. A soaring, light-filled growing space that the outside walls give no hint of. Why hide it? 2 reasons. Privacy. You get the growing environment without turning your whole life into a glass display case for the street. And protection. The atrium is buffered by the heated rooms around it, so it never faces the elements directly. It is the warmest, most stable growing space on this entire list, and it costs less to heat than any of them, because the house itself is the insulation. That is the thing nobody tells you about greenhouse design. The best greenhouse is often the one the weather can't find. You don't need a glass box braced against the wind. The glass is buried at the center of your floor plan, wrapped in heated rooms on every side. This design hides the entire system in plain sight, and then pays it off the moment you walk in the door. Here's the honest truth about all 5 of these. They are not for everyone. If you live in a mild climate with cheap produce in a short winter, you can ignore most of this. A greenhouse barndominium, there's a luxury, not a strategy. But if you build someone that fights back, the upper Midwest, the northern plains, the high desert, then one of these 5 is not a design idea. It is a 20-year hedge against the grocery bill, the heating bill, and the supply chain you can't control. It is the building itself doing the retirement planning that a spreadsheet never will. So drop a comment below. Which of these 5 would you actually build, and in what climate? I read every single one. And thank you for watching. If you found this valuable, hit that subscribe button. More climate-engineered builds like these are already in production. And if you're ready for the next one, click the video on screen right now. YouTube thinks you'll like it.